Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to share something with you that is brand new to me, and it's something that I've seen a lot on YouTube, but I really wanted to share it with you today, and that is a half and half face. Now, I have already done the foundation, although I did want to film that for you, but unfortunately I already put the foundation on and then forgot I didn't have all the brushes. So I've left the foundation on, and basically what I've done is obviously I've put the brows on just because, you know, I don't have high-end or inexpensive for that. It is just the one product that I use. So I've added those, and then I've added the foundation. So on this side, I've got the L'Oreal Infallible matte foundation. And then the other side of my face, I have got so this side of my face, I've added the Kat Von D, the Lock-It foundation. And then over this side, to set that, I have used the banana powder from the Makeup Revolution Ultra Pro HD powder contour palette, and just set that. And then on the other side of my face, I've set it with banana powder from the Shade and Light palette. So that's all I've done to start with. And now I'm going to, and this is where I had to stop and restart, and that is because I'm now going into contour, and I realised that I hadn't got my brushes. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. So it is going to be, this side is the less expensive makeup and this side is the more high end. And I thought it'd be really interesting. I've tried to also get makeup that is very, very similar to one another. So hopefully, you know, this will match, and, you know, see how we get on. So I'm going to start with the less expensive, and again I'm going back to the Makeup Revolution Pro HD powder contour, and I'm going for this shade here. And I'm going to start off with my NYX fan brush, and I'm just going to go into that product and just warm up this side of my face. And obviously I've got a mirror here, so I will be looking down into that mirror and just doing what I usually do. Just warm up the face a little bit like that. So there's that all warmed up on my left. It'll probably be your right when you're looking at this. Now, in this palette, it's not as similar to the Makeup Revolution one because these are a lot cooler. However, I'm going to use the middle shade and try and warm up my face with that one. So I can get away with like the what is it, the Renaissance, the Makeup Revolution Renaissance Glow palette. I can get away with actually doing that. Oh my goodness, using the whole palette. Wow. It was a little bit powdery when I haven't actually used this palette hardly at all. It's done a good job. I don't mind the colour, but it is very deep. And it's a little bit powdery when you pop your brush in as well. The colour's not too bad though. Yeah, the colour's not too bad. I'm just going to get the foundation brush that I used for the Lock-It foundation and just tap over that because that is a little bit too deep for me. And then get my fan brush again. But actually, it's a nice colour. So that was a little bit of a surprise. So that's the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. A little bit powdery, I must say. I haven't used it for quite a long time. So yeah, that's that. Now we move on to the actual contour. So I'm going to head back to this palette, which is the Makeup Revolution. Again, the Ultra Pro HD Powder Contour palette in light to medium. And this time I'm going to use this shade here. Now I believe this palette is £10. I cannot remember what or how much the Shade and Light palette was. Like I say, it was about a year ago I think I bought that, when it became available at Debenhams, when it first came over. In fact, as soon as the Kat Von D came over to the UK, I purchased quite a number of products. The only thing that I find with higher end products is that, you know, it's okay when you're first purchasing them, but when I use them or use them up, you've got to keep on purchasing at that price. My mum actually purchased this Lock-It foundation because I tried it, I liked it, and then she purchased it, and she actually went through the foundation quite quickly. She loved it, but it is quite expensive, so she had to actually find a cheaper alternative for that. So I'm going to use this cooler tone here as my contour. So again, I'm going to use the fan brush, but I'm going to use the other side this time. And I'm just going to dip into that product and then just so yeah, that's worked really nicely. Now I want to add a blush. Yeah, I'm losing track where I am now. Yeah, blush. So now I want to add a blush, and the blush that I'm using from the less expensive range is from the I Heart Makeup and range, and it is I Want Candy, and the shade is Flushing. And it looks like that. It is absolutely stunning. I love the look of it. I love the shade. I love the fact that there's a heart there. I don't think these are very, very expensive at all. And I'm using this brush from Real Techniques from that range. And I'm just going to dip that in there and then add it to the cheek. In fact, this is the first time that I've used that Flushing blush. Yep, so that's nicely blended. So that's that. Then I'm going to move on to the expensive side, and the blush I'm using is MAC, and it's called a Sheertone Shimmer Blush in Plum Foolery. Looks like this. It actually looks quite dark in the pan, but when swatched, these actually are not far off. So I'm going to get my blush brush from Wilko and just dip that into Plum Foolery, and then just add that to the face. Now don't worry too much if you feel that you've overdone it with the blush, because what I always like to do is go back to the foundation brush and then just blend it in a little bit, just to give it a more natural look. Sorry, I've got different sets of makeup brushes so that I don't swap shades over from one side to the other. So in fact, I think I've brushed away a little bit too much of that. Perfect, love that. So that's the blush done. Now I'm going in with the highlight, and the highlight that I'm using on the less expensive side is Makeup Revolution Skin Kiss in Peach Kiss. If you're a regular viewer to my channel, you know that I absolutely love this. It is one of my favourite highlights. It is just amazing. The brush that I'm using is the Morphe M501, and I'm just going to add that to the top of my cheek there. Oh, I just love this. It's a gorgeous, warm blush, but it really is absolutely stunning. And then on the more expensive side, I'm going to be using MAC's Soft and Gentle, which is very, very similar to the Makeup Revolution one. And this is Soft and Gentle, absolutely gorgeous. Let me just show you them side by side. I hope I did show you the skin finish. It looks, not the skin finish, the Makeup Revolution Skin Kiss. They look so different in the pan, but actually swatched. Let me just swatch them for you. The Skin Kiss is a little bit more pinker, but to be honest, I really struggle to find a highlighter because this is actually the only... I've got another one from MAC that was more pink, but it's like a duochrome. So this is the one that I thought wouldn't look too strange. I know obviously on swatching it looks a lot pinker. I'm having to use this brush again because that's the only highlighter brush that I've brought down. And I'm just adding that on this side. To be honest, it doesn't look too bad. It does look very, very similar on the skin. Let me just turn my face around. I hope you can see that reflectiveness there. So that's that done. Now we move on to the eyes, and I'm going to start off with this side again, the less expensive side, and I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade palette, which looks like this. I believe this is £8. But like I say, I will have to list everything down below. And I think I'm going to start off with, which shade shall I start off with? I think I'm going to start off with this shade here. It's stunning, it's peach, it's a beautiful transitional shade. So I'm going to start off with that. So I'm going to add that. So that's that side done. Now the next palette I'm going to be working with on this side is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Contour palette. So it looks like that, and then on the inside it looks like this. So it looks very, very similar in colour to the Makeup Revolution one. I'm just going to get my brush, it's a totally clean brush, and again I'm going for the similar shade, which is that one, and I'm just going to pop that on the brush. There is so much fallout with this, and I've also noticed I've gone over it now, that when I put the foundation on this side, it sets. I don't use like an eye primer or anything, because the L'Oreal foundation works so well. But I just looked just before I put the brush in, and the Kat Von D foundation had actually moved a little bit. So if I was to use that foundation, I would have to use, you know, like a proper primer, I suppose. Also, I'm finding with this palette there's a lot of fallout again. More than I would expect, to be honest. And this is actually why I think I probably stopped using the Kat Von D. Let me just go back to my Makeup Revolution palette. Now the Kat Von D shade is just, even though it's very, very similar, it's slightly deeper in colour. So now I'm going to go for a shade in the crease, and I think I'm going to go for the second one in, so this one here. So I've gone back to the original brush and I'm just going to pop that in the crease and not take it too high, because what I don't want to do is totally take out that colour that I added first of all. If I take it too high, then we're not going to have any more of that. So I'm now going back to the Kat Von D palette. So this is the shade here, and I'm just going to add that. Wow. It's more pigmented, but there is still a little bit of fallout. I'm going back to the Makeup Revolution and just build that up a little bit. That's better. Like that. Then what I'm going to do is get my, and obviously the brush that I used first of all is my Primark brush, the one that I always use on my eyes to start with, and that is £1 from Primark. This one is the PS Pro Shading Eye Brush, and it looks like that, and I'm just going into that very first peachy shade, and I'm just going to pick some of that up and add that underneath the eye, all the way along. Now both of these palettes are matte, there's no shimmers in them at all. So that's the first brush. I'm just going to get another clean one and exactly the same, dipping that into the Shade and Light by Kat Von D and just popping that all underneath the eye. And then going back to the original brush and the second shade, I'm just going to add that like that. And again, I'm a little bit worried about this actually, because it is going very carefully. That's better. They match up. I don't know why, but when I put eyeshadow on the first eye, I'm always a little bit wary, and I always have to build up that first eye. When I do the second eye, I'm always a little bit more confident, because obviously I know what this one's going to look like. So that's that. So now I want to add the lid shade, and I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with that first peach shade, and I've got the same brush that I used for the Makeup Revolution products, so I'm just going to sweep that all across the lid. And I'm just going to get the brush that I used for the Kat Von D, and that's good actually, because that will pick up the rest of that loose powder on there, and then sweep that across the eye like that. And then I think that's it. That looks nice. And now for the mascara, I'm going to use the Primark Aqua Lash. So it's the Primark PS Aqua Lash Waterproof Lengthening Mega Volume Mascara. This is £2 from obviously Primark, and I'm going to, this is the very first time, I've not even looked at the wand, I've just taken off the wrapper. It is one of those wands that is plastic with very short bristles, and I really got on well with the gold one, which was exactly the same as this, I think, but not waterproof. So I'm just going to add wow, it really does get into every lash. Let me just try a little bit more. So it really worked well actually. It really separated the lashes, loved that. And then for the more expensive, I'm using Nip and Fab on this side. So that Primark mascara was £2. The Nip and Fab mascara is £9.95. And the wand is a regular wand. The only thing that I'm finding with the Nip and Fab, it was quite liquidy to start with when I first started using it, and as time's going by now, it's getting more clumpier and clumpier, and sometimes you'll get a little bit, you have to make sure that you take off, especially that end of the brush there, take that off because it's now quite thick and clumpy and bits drop down. So it's not a mascara that I will necessarily be repurchasing. I did get it in free in the kit. I mean, I really like what it does to my eyelashes. It really does look pretty, but I'm just worried about the fact that it's now getting clumpy, and I will have to start using that Primark mascara. But apart from that, really, really good. Now we move on to, so we've done the face, we've now done the eyes, and I now want to do the lips. I've got a couple of different choices that I found, and I found that because I've got the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick. Now I can't remember, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to read the bottom of this because it is extremely small, but it is the lipstick that was given away in the London Calling set, and obviously I'll find out what the name is by getting my magnifying glass out, and I'll pop it below. But I've actually found something that looks very similar to this shade, although this one is matte and this one is more glossy, and it is the My Sign Makeup Revolution's My Sign lip gloss in Gemini. If you like this colour, this one is very, very similar. So I've got that, or I've got the MAC Vamplify, and again I'm not going to be able to read this because I always have problems when I share this. It's this shade here, and then I've got the Freedom Makeup London, the Pro Melts lip gloss in Strict. So they look very, I know it doesn't look similar in the actual tube. I'll just swatch them for you. I absolutely love this Vamplify by MAC. It is absolutely stunning. So there's the first two. That's the first choice. And then the second choice, let me just swatch this, and then I'll make my decision. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that in this set that I'm now swatching, one's matte and one's glossy, so that may not work so well, but the shades are nearly spot on. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I will go for this because they are both quite glossy. So it's the MAC Vamplify, and obviously I will list the name of it down below because I always have problems with it. and I'm going to start, I'm going to start off with the less expensive actually, which is the Freedom Makeup London, the Pro Melts Lip Gloss in Stripped. Gorgeous. I thought it smelt, but it's not. It was the I thought it smelt very similar to MAC, but it's because I took the lid off and that's what I can smell. So now I'm going in with the MAC Vamplify. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to work. Actually, that's not too bad. A little bit that's better. That's actually near enough. Spot on. I was a little bit worried actually to start with when I first put it on, and it's because I didn't quite fill the lip out correctly, but yeah, that's good. So like I say, I've got the Vamplify by MAC on one side, on my right, and I think it's going to be your left, and then on this side it's the Freedom Makeup London Pro Melt in Stripped, and of course I will list everything down below and possibly link it for you as well. So that is my full face done now. So obviously on this side I've got the more expensive brands, and then on this side I've got the less expensive brands. And what do you think? Not bad actually. I think they work very, very well. I'm a great fan of all makeup. It doesn't worry me if it's more expensive or less expensive. If there is a product that I'm interested in, you know, and I really want to try it, then I will. It doesn't worry me if, you know, if it's from a less expensive brand or more expensive, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. If I want to try a product, I will. And it doesn't worry me what brand it's from and things like that. I will, you know, basically if I want to try something, I will, whatever the cost, I suppose, although I haven't got anything in my makeup collection that is extremely expensive, because obviously you've got to then repurchase. But yeah, I really wanted to share that with you. I must admit, if I was to go out now, or if I was to ask my husband or any of my children, they possibly wouldn't be able to say which side was the high end, which side was the less expensive, because they look very similar to me. Yeah, there's not really that much difference. Obviously, I would really like your feedback, and I'd be really interested to hear what you think. So basically, this is the higher end and this is the less expensive. So yeah, I'd really welcome your thoughts actually. And I hope you found that helpful. If you did, I would really appreciate you giving me a thumbs up, or just support me, of course, and do subscribe to watch further videos. But thank you so much for watching. Until next time, thank you. Bye.